Okay, next problem. As you can see, I've got one of the fuel rails mounted here. These brackets are the ones that Speedmaster supplied. But you see that little bevel cut it's got on that side of the bracket? Well, that's on the wrong side. It had to be on this side to not foul on the throttle body. And you can see that one's the same. And underneath them, the fuel rails, it has these two holes to mount the rail. And if you look over here on this rail, here's the fuel rail. The bracket, when it mounts to line up those two holes, like that, puts the fuel, you can see this thing makes it raise up off the rail about an inch and a half. But it doesn't even reach my injectors, so what you have to do is flip it so that this part here sits on the throttle body. This bit bolts to the fuel rail, but these bananas have drilled these brackets the wrong way. You can see I've remarked and center punched where I'm going to re-drill them. I'll re-drill them like I did that other one. So this one over here has been re-drilled. I mean, it looks a bit scrappy from underneath at the moment, but again, this is just rough fitting it to see what needs to happen. I don't know if you can see under there, you can see the two holes I drilled and the two holes they already had in it. So you can see that bracket, they're not tight, but you can see that bracket under there, and it looks really rubbish. So I'm gonna have to remake those now that I know they fit. As you can see that it makes the fuel rail, it mounts that fuel rail solid, holds them down tight on the injectors, keeps them in line where they're supposed to be. Yeah, so I'm going to go and re-drill these now. I'll just pause the video for a sec and I'll show you what I do with it after I drill it. Back in a second. Okay, so you can see I changed the angle on the end of the bracket. I re-drilled the holes. Their holes were actually offset too much. I just corrected the hole position. You can see on both of them they're corrected. I'll mount them to the fuel rail and I'll turn the video back on. Now you can see what I've had to do, offset drill those holes, because they only fit a certain way, because you can see there's an angle on the bracket that makes it fit a certain way, which when it faces down sits on the top of the fuel rail, on top of the throttle body, and the bolts go in there. So hopefully I can show you that right now. I think it fits on this way. You can see I've got the bolt taken out of the throttle body there and there. This then fits on top of the O-rings on the injectors. Give it a bit of a tap. There we go. And that's my Allen key. Get a bolt in that hole there. Do up the bolts. And there we have it. So fixed another Speedmaster stuff up. I'll tighten those bolts in a second when I get these rails sitting down tight. But yeah, once they're on, bolt holes line up. You can see the bolt holes lining up there. Fuel rails are aligned, which is all good. And another problem fixed. Next problem I'm going to have is my TPS, my throttle position sensor. Again, no instructions, but I'll just shut this garage door. Let a bit more light shine down there. That's better. like you can see, let me just get this fuel hose out of the way. On the, again, no instructions, but on the pictures of the throttle bodies that have been installed, it shows the TPS in this position here. If you look at how much room is there between that, I can't get this nowhere near aligning. If you look at the bolt holes, like I showed before, different bolt centers, the shaft size is 9mm on this TPS and it's 8mm on the throttle body. So this throttle body here, if I make a bracket to fit this one in this position, my problem is that the throttle body turns that way, but the TPS internally turns that way. So it can't go here, so it has to go there because this throttle body turns the way it needs to go. So you have to make some sort of bracket to fit this TPS out in front here somewhere, or somehow off these linkages here make something so that this one can fit out here. So maybe something can bolt to the front face of here that can have that. Oh, it can't actually. I don't know how I'll do it because this needs to stay still and the shaft needs to turn. So this needs to be the full diameter, so it has the little guides on it to pull the throttle around. And this one goes opposite way. So like I said, this one goes that way, and you can see internally the TPS turns opposite direction. So I did notice that on the couple of American sites like Jegs and other sort of racing parts companies, they sell these kits. They don't sell this cross draft or cross ram kit. They sell the downdraft kit, and that downdraft kit comes with a fast like easy ECM and all the equipment to hook up to it. It shows underneath here little ports pre-drilled into the back, and those ports are for running the TPS, or not the TPS, the map sensor. So to get with no MAF sensor, I need to make sure this car has a map sensor connected. So I'm gonna have to take all these manifolds back off. This has no boss on the back or no drill holes already. I need to take these manifolds off, drill them, and tap them probably 1/8 NPT. Run a series of connected hoses through here, build a little manifold out here, connect the map sensor into it. Yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of struggling here. It's taking me 10 times longer than it should because they don't supply the parts, or they don't give you instructions on what to purchase or what you should have with them. I guess the idea, people have said to me, why did you buy Speedmaster crap? I guess the idea was to get the looks of a $1 million engine without spending $1 million. So, like I said, everything you pretty much see there so far is what comes in the kit or additional. These are just hose ends that I had sitting in the box. The back ones, I don't know what I've got yet. These are just -6 fittings that go into there, into an orb fitting. So I'm probably going to run 2 fittings like this off the back, cap the front, because I have a fuel regulator supplying 58 psi to it anyway. I don't particularly want to see anything run down the front here. Probably just plug off the front, run 2 of these off to a Y piece down here to the fuel line, and the fuel line will be run around the back to the engine. You can see the fuel line just currently hanging here that used to go to the previous fuel rail. So a few things to sort out: map sensor, TPS, throttle position sensor, fuel lines, the drilling and tapping of all the ports for the TPS, which can run underneath there anyway. Just need to keep it nice and tidy. You won't see it much through the middle. There's not much room down between all these throttle bodies here, but you may see it if you get right down into the front here, but it's going to sit down low in a hot rod, so it's going to be very hard to see a fitting here. I'll use stainless steel push fittings, and I'll probably use some Teflon hose through it, because they're kind of just from here to there. Like I'm going to run from this one, from this throttle body to this throttle body to that. So these four are connected. These four are connected, and at the back they'll tee in to one. So we'll see how that goes. On to the next problem.